Hey guys, just wanted to share some thoughts on carving the outside of a kuksa. So this is a white birch kuksa I'm making, and I know I didn't get to show you just axing it out, but I will get a video on that and explain more of it. One thing I will share quickly, sorry if this video is a little, there's not much formula to it. But so you've probably seen kuksas with this design. It's like a little, it looks like it might be functional for a dipper type thing, or maybe if you're pouring out of it, maybe it helps, direct the liquid. But I've also found that while carving it, it's very functional to help carve. So when I'm axing out the kuksa, axing around the bowl, this little point here actually really helps with getting just rounding and shaping the kuksa. It keeps it from rolling as you're axing it, and so I found it really helpful. It also is a little decorative or whatever. So basically a little rundown of the way I start axing out a kuksa normally. So you got your blank, which I showed you in a video. So I normally start with the handle. So basically I'm just what I do is I take off like a corner to the top profile, and then I take off the back corner. So I find that easiest rather than taking out this whole side of the kuksa. It's a lot of material, and it's hard to get this nice swoop with an axe, especially an axe that might have a, mine's kind of a single bevel. So yeah, what I like to do is I like to get the back handles. I take off a corner, 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 and a corner, and I like to leave a little bit of the blunt end. Just to take a bit of a beating. And so another functional purpose of this point here is, as I'm taking doing the same method, take off a corner around the top profile, and then trace around. I did have a circle there, so I take a corner with the axe off, and then another corner profile, and this point lets me lets the kuksa take more of a beating. So yeah, so it's really handy leaving that there, maybe as long as you can actually, because I've been axing out a kuksa and I've had the front bowl crack on me, and it's I don't need any more firewood, so I try to save as many as I can. And so yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that design. And so yeah, so the step I'm on right now is just shaping it with the knife, and this part I found really tiring when I first started. Now I'll try and share some of my methods, but I might also be stronger because I've been doing this a little bit. So just bear with me. I'll do my best to explain, but more so like try and watch what I'm doing, just to get the hang of it. So I'm normally holding the kuksa like this. Like, let's say for the front right, the passenger side. So the way I carve the outside of the kuksa is I'm pivoting on my thumb, so I hope you can see that. But yeah, I'm pivoting on my thumb and just kind of like using my arm as a just leverage. And so when you're carving end grain, it is tough, and but with this pivoting, or with the thumb at the back of the knife, I find I can get a more controlled slice. So I have been able to get these fairly smooth with just the tool, and controlled. And so another thing that I do is I like to have a bench to push on. I'll put the workpiece, whether it's a spoon or kuksa, just have something to push on, and it gives you more leverage, and so you get some very controlled shavings and swipes of the knife. So the front, let's just for fun call it the passenger side. The front passenger side of your kuksa, it is definitely the easiest. It's easiest to carve that. I find the most difficult is the driver's side, as you may. And so what I like to do is kind of hold it down on something, and the same thing, like my left thumb is at the back of my knife, and I'm kind of just doing the slicing. You should know by now, it's not normally like just a direct cut. It is normally or it's a slice that that just cuts the grain very nicely. And so with this this part of the process, I've found I can get a very controlled cut around the edge of the cup. So just place it on a work surface. Make sure you're not, you got to be careful. Like if this is finished, you're gonna ding it up and it's gonna get dirty, and you know, it's just not gonna look very pretty when if you're pressing it on something. So so be mindful of that. And then so yeah, with the back of the cup, it really does. It really depends on what kind of handle you're choosing. This one's going to be a mug, but I like keeping this swoop profile. So again, I'm just getting a good grip on it and kind of pushing it against the bench here, and so it's just a big swoop. And so I've already taken the bulk of material off, but I'm just kind of demonstrating here for you guys, and that's how I do it. I don't know, I hope you can see what I'm doing basically. And so again, with the backside, my knife is a little iffy for carving very very tight slice, I guess how you'd say it, because the handle hits the workpiece. And so I'm gonna get actually a more I think it's a 106 soon. The blade is laminated steel rather than high carbon. There is a thin strip of high carbon in the center of the Mora knife, but it's thinner and you can bend it. So so I've played around with friends, and so I'm actually going to grab one, and I'll put a link in the bottom if you want to take a look at it. But so yeah, same thing. I got it pressed against the bench here, and my thumb is at the back of the knife, and I got one thumb pivoting here too, and so it's just, well, sometimes change it up, but it's this is just the easiest way I've kind of found to carve a kuksa, because I just found it a really daunting task when I first started carving these. I'd put them in the vise and just chisel it out, and I'd really dread making them actually. Like when a customer would order one, I'd be like, oh, fine, I have to make one. So yeah, having a workbench to hold your your kuksa down on, I found it to be extremely helpful. And so yeah, again, left thumb at the back of the knife, and just a nice pivot while pushing down, and you can see that I can get some pretty controlled cuts of the knife here. And yeah, so I hope you can kind of understand what I'm trying to show you there. I'm just trying to make your life easier. So it took me a while to kind of figure that out on my own. And I will do another video explaining the rest of the process. I'll demonstrate the axe cutting here. So this is almost finished, this kuksa that I was just showing you carving. So yeah, it turned out really nice. This I was making a note about this tip point here. At first I thought it was decorative, but after starting to carve them this way, I just started to see the purpose of them, just for an ease for carving, and also kind of like the way it looks, almost like the hull of a boat. I don't know if that's the correct term for the front of the boat, but yeah. So this is white birch. It's turning out real nice, and gonna let it dry, oil it up, and it's ready to go. This one's probably it might be 8 ounces, maybe 9. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Just some random tips. Just consider this like a vlog. It's not really a complete instructional, but just some thoughts, and had the camera handy, so there you go, guys. Happy carving, and yeah, subscribe, like, and thanks for just following me.